Alright guys, let's have a look at TSLA Tesla technicals to watch from here. Last time we talked about this, it was around 182. We are at not 195. That's where we closed on Friday, and pretty much overall market jumped as well. So I wouldn't say that people specifically came for Tesla. I mean, it did bounce with overall market, okay? So I don't want to say that it's relatively strong, relatively weak. It hasn't been doing much compared to overall S&P 500, right? So, but if we measure from the bottom of its range to where it is right now, S&P 500 has bounced 17%, and if you look at the Tesla as well, from its lows, but it was going much lower before S&P 500 hit its low. S&P pretty much started bouncing in October, versus Tesla, it was weak in October, November, and from its lows in November, it's up 17%. So that's what I mean. So relatively, it's not super in line with market. It's been weaker than the market is, and it's below its 200-day and 50-day moving average. So whenever stocks are below their major moving averages, I mean, you don't want to flip bullish because momentum is not bullish at the time. So all this movement right here, it's basically trying to maybe form a bottom here, short-term bottom here, because just like we spoke last time, that stocks don't like to get too overextended below their 50-day moving average or above their 50-day moving average. So 50-day moving average at the time at the time of recording this video on Saturday, 3rd of December, it's around 213. So if we get back above $200, yeah, we will definitely get there. So that's the next resistance. But 200, 202, that's the resistance for Tesla right here, right now. And also, I do think that if we get up here, we can definitely reverse, because at this time, it's hard to call that Tesla has bottomed. I like to flip charts sometimes to look at what's going on in terms of like a bullish perspective. Let's say if I was bullish the stock and the chart is bearish, it's been downtrending, I just flip the chart and look at it this way and say, okay, so it's been pretty much uptrending, and I'm okay to buy this pullback. And I would say, okay, so it's down 17% from its high. I'll buy this pullback. I think it can go higher. So from that perspective, I think that this chart, just by looking at this chart, I think that it's not bullish yet. Okay, and you can't call it bottom. You can definitely say that short term it can bounce a little bit more, and you can also call that it may be forming this little head and shoulders here. So maybe it's going to chop around and then it will break down to 220. But that's what I'm watching for Tesla. There's not much going on options wise. I didn't see major flows last week, even though we saw a lot of calls that came in for S&P 500. If it does bounce, I do see for the rest of December maybe another 7%, maybe hit 200-day moving average. I mean, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average is far away. If you look at it on a monthly basis, year to date, you can compare it. So this is this year, basically. Every candle represents 1 month, and look what you see. I'll just wait for 5 seconds. You see 2 green candles, right? That's it. That was when Tesla positive. And look at maybe other stocks. I mean, I'm sure that there are weaker stocks, Amazon, like there are many other stocks that are doing the same thing. But we're talking about in terms of market, overall market, S&P 500, you can see it was strong in October and November, but Amazon, Tesla, all those high flyers in 2020, 2021, they're weak. Tech names are weak. Microsoft, I wouldn't include it in there. Google, I think, is weak as well, but it did bounce in November. So that's why we need a little bit more time for Tesla to develop. I do think that it's not super convincing bottom for me to jump in right here, but if it does go back to these lows of 166, definitely I can play bounce, I can play trade. But right here right now, risk reward is pretty much 50-50. If you say that it's going to go all the way to 10, it can definitely flip and come right back down to 175, 177. So risk reward pretty much same, 20 bucks upside, 20 bucks, 15 bucks upside, 15 bucks downside basically. So that's why let's see what happens. Not much going on here, and in a very, very short term, you can say that 5-day moving average, this blue line, stock is above it. So short, super ultra short term, stock is bullish. So that's the update for Tesla, and hope you guys like it. See you in the next one.